after all this time for his role or his not role in, you know, the death of Tupac, pointless to me, because the person that killed Tupac got murdered.
Yeah,
and if you're from Compton or you're from LA and you're as deep in the streets as I am, then you know what's up.
He says everybody in Compton who's connected knows who killed Tupac Shakur, but they're not saying. Is that accurate, that whoever it is, that's going around?
No, it's not accurate. No, it's not accurate at all, because everybody's up there lying.
Almost 30 years after Tupac was killed, somehow this story just keeps getting even crazier. Because while Keffe D is sitting on trial right now, accused of playing a role in Pac's murder, the game just jumped into the conversation with a completely different take.
I'm innocent. I ain't killed nobody, never did ever kill nobody. They don't have no evidence against me. Came and put me in Las Vegas.
According to the game, Keffe D is basically being used as a fall guy. And the game ain't just saying he thinks they got the wrong dude. Nah, the game says he known who's killed Tupac for almost 15 years. And according to him, people connected to Compton and LA know exactly what happened too. Obviously, that claim, he didn't provide evidence publicly establishing who the shooter was, and Keffe D has pleaded not guilty. But you already know once Gang said that Suge Knight had something to say. And considering Suge was literally sitting in the driver's seat next to Tupac when those shots came through that night, his response carries a little bit different weight. But before we get to Suge, y'all gotta hear exactly what the gang said, because according to gang, what's happening inside that Las Vegas courtroom right now isn't necessarily the whole story. Check this out, fam.
Yeah, I've known about the Orlando story.
Who killed Tupac, who killed Biggie is no mystery to niggas that live in LA, man.
Biggie, I don't know. I mean,
we gonna keep you in the not know. And
you can keep me in the not know, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But the Tupac story I've known for a good 15 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, listen, I did the interview with Keefe that basically laid out the whole story, but this was after he already wrote a book about it.
Right.
But it's...
You don't think that they didn't know that Keffe D was there, had anything to do with it?
They
knew the whole time.
He had already testified. He had already confessed to it.
Right.
In the proffer agreement.
But his deal, maybe his deal with them people ran out and now they feel like they need a scapegoat. I don't know.
The gang just opened up a whole different can of worms, because think about what he's saying. Keffe D has been talking about Tupac's murder publicly for years. This man has told versions of this story so many times that now some of those very words are being played back inside a courtroom.
Tupac, and he was, you know, that's bullshit. You know, a real motherfucker don't be sitting down and set his ass down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'll be hanging out no window. Just want to be seen.
Defense is essentially telling the jury don't believe anything Keffe D said about Keffe D. That sounds wild when you say it out loud, right? But that's really one of the biggest issues in this trial. His defense says a lot of those stories were basically Keffe D talking big, building his reputation, selling books, and entertaining people.
Anyone close to you say, not a good idea?
That was the Ghostwriters. I didn't write that book. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about no Winston Churchill, Frank Sinatra. Just read the book. You know I didn't write that book. You know what I'm saying? And the Vlad thing, the lady, she gave me $150,000.
But then when I was watching the interview this week, and the way you sort of go through it by play, like then this happened, it's very believable.
They wrote me a script to follow. My lawyer came with the script. It seemed like he was in bed with them the whole time.
But the prosecution, of course, doesn't see it that way. They're using Keefe's own words to argue that he wasn't just somebody who knew what happened. They're arguing that he participated in it. I'm not gonna tell y'all what to believe. Listen to this man for yourself, man.
And y'all slowly pull up to Tupac and Suge in a black BMW. Tell me how that came about.
We just took the gutter lane. Like we said, we pulled up to the stoplight, and they was making a right. It was about 17 cars. We just pulled up in the gutter lane and seen their ass. Yep. And that first shot, it hit Big Boy in the head. I thought he was dead. Like, damn, he dead. And they didn't even give chase, make it so bad. Some brawls gave it chase. They got their little windshield shot out. It was over with after that. Suge just ducked his head. And the first bullet went in his head. Then the next ones hit him. It was like he was doing a breakdance trying to jump in the back seat or something. Yeah. Like, damn. Yeah, what the f? It looked like he was trying to jump in the, but it was, the bullets was in his ass. Then we made the right, and them brawls tried to get a little chase. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder why Reddy didn't get a chase, because I seen him do some shooting before, for sure.
Right. So
you want to talk about that too?
I found this is where the gang argument gets complicated, because whether you believe Keefe was telling the truth back then or whether you believe he was exaggerating, those are still his words. Keffe D described being inside the Cadillac. He talked about the weapons, talked about who was sitting where, and he identified his nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, as the shooter. But here's something important. Keffe D isn't on trial because the state is claiming he personally pulled the trigger. The case against him is based on the allegation that he helped orchestrate or facilitate what happened. Everybody got the real story, but somehow almost 30 years later, we're still debating the same story. And that's where Suge Knight comes into this.
Number one, Keffe D says that I met with his attorney and Reggie Sr. to give his nephew some bread. I was in the county jail. That's all you got to do is check the time and see where I was at. But the crazy thing about this, everybody's using this as a way to be like, look at me, look at me. I ain't doing this to say, look at me, look at me. I'm doing this saying, hey, that's my homie, and his life wasn't no mother circus, and his life wasn't about people just talking to be talking. And Keffe D and them attorneys was like, hey, we'll give you a half a ticket. We'll give you $1 million. They talked to this person that works for Puffy. They talked to this person who works with them. All the lawyers getting together. And I told them, look, my loyalty and love for Tupac can't be compromised with nobody.
Wait, hey, Suge, wait, you're saying that they offered you $1 million to do what?
To say that he wasn't there, he wasn't in the car, and all this other shit.
Wait a minute, he who?
That
Keffe D.
But I thought I thought the whole argument was that Keffe D was not necessarily there even, but that he orchestrated it.
But they sent the attorney to talk to me, put me out in this prison right here. It was like, hey, we got a half a ticket, $1 million. That's all you got to say, he wasn't there. Right? I said, oh, I ain't saying shit.
Suge basically said, stop playing with Pac's name. He was there. This wasn't a story somebody called him and told him the next morning. Suge was driving the BMW. Pac was sitting beside him. Suge was injured in that same shooting. And then Suge dropped another allegation that might be even crazier. He claims Keffe D's legal team offered him up to $1 million to say Keffe D wasn't inside the Cadillac that night. Now, that was Suge Knight's allegation. I haven't seen independent evidence establishing that such an offer was actually made. But according to Suge, he turned it down. And the way Suge tells it, his loyalty to Pac can't be bought. Remember what Keefe defense is trying to do. They're challenging the credibility of Keefe's old statements. If they can convince the jury that Keffe D spent years exaggerating stories for attention and money, then those interviews don't look like confessions anymore. They look like a man just running his mouth.
Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something.
No, that's just, bro, where the fuck did that just come?
The prosecution argument is basically, how many times can you tell the same type of story before people start believing you? And that's what the jury basically has to sort through, fam. There's something else I think gets lost when everybody starts debating who said what. Tupac was only 25 years old. We're in 2026 talking about something that happened in 1996, almost 3 decades later. And during those decades, this story became almost like hip-hop mythology. And now, for the first time, one of the men who has been publicly talking about that night for years is actually sitting in front of a jury. So now I gotta throw this to y'all, fam. Who made the stronger point? Do you agree with the game that Keffe D is being used as a scapegoat? Or do you look at Keffe D's own interviews and say, bruh, you put yourself in this situation by talking about it for all these years? And remember, Keffe D has pleaded not guilty. Get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. And if you think this Pac story is crazy, don't leave yet, because there's a video I need y'all to see. I'm putting the video right here on the screen. Click that video and meet me there. Welcome to the circle. It's your boy, Big Millie. And I'll catch y'all in the next one, fam.
If not, then it's all up. It's all up. If not, then it's all up.